All right, finding the equation of a perpendicular line through a given point. So I'm gonna start off with an equation. Let's say we had an equation for a line that was y equals 4x minus 1, and I wanted to find the line perpendicular to this one that went through the point 5, 2. All right, so what is it I have to look at? Well, perpendicular lines, we should be able to get something from the slope. And I know the slope of my line here was 4. Perpendicular lines have a slope that is the opposite reciprocal. Perpendicular lines have a slope that is the opposite reciprocal. So if my slope for the line up here was 4, my new one, so new slope, if that was 4, I'm going to do the opposite. So instead of positive, it's going to be negative. And instead of 4, I do the reciprocal. So I just flip it over. And instead of 4 over 1, it becomes 1 over 4. So my new slope for a perpendicular line, instead of 4 is going to be negative 1 over 4. Now, I know the slope, but to get the equation of a line, I need the y-intercept as well. So I have y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to use what I know, this point and this slope, to solve for my y-intercept. So we have the y equals the m times the x plus the b. I'll plug in what I have here. My y is a 2. My m is a negative 1 over 4. My x is a 5. Fun. So 2 equals negative 1 over 4 times 5 is negative 5 over 4 plus b. So to solve for b, I add 5 over 4 plus 5 over 4. And so you get a b equals 2 plus 5 over 4 is 2 5/4, but 5 over 4 is 1 1/4. So you're going to get 1 1/4 plus 2, which is 3 1/4. 3 1/4. So now let's go ahead and put it all together. So I had y equals mx plus b, where my m is negative 1/4 and b is 3 1/4. So altogether, my line that is perpendicular to this line and going through the point 5, 2 is y equals negative 1 over 4 x plus 3 1/4. That is our answer. Very cool.